This is Captain Soban of the fleet, Farron Shaw. We have arrived in Sector 112 and request targeting data.
Hello everyone, this is Captain Soban. Welcome aboard to Starship Normal Prize for an episode of Sword of the Stars. Okay, so I've actually made a series on this on the channel probably about 1 or 2 years ago. We didn't really finish it. I kind of just messed around with it. This is probably one of my favorite space strategy games of all time. I mean, Homeworld is really up there. Command & Conquer is a great RTS game, but this one I like because it's very unique. It's like as unique as Empire at War. Because this game has elements of Civilization, Homeworld, 40. I think it even has elements of 40K, Warhammer 40K. That's the game I'm thinking of, and a little bit, a couple other elements. Because this is one of the few games that are it's a turn-based strategy in Galactic Mode and real-time strategy in Battle Mode, which I love. Only Empire War is the only other game I know that actually has something like that implemented. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the game. We are going to play single player, custom, and we are going to be playing on a giant map because that's what I usually like to do on this channel. So 350 stars. We are going to set the research efficiency to 50%. The reason why is because there's so many stars out there. It means it'll take longer to do research, but also means that the AI won't get super powerful in the very beginning of the game. Because once the AI gets to a certain point, it gets certain researches done, they get really, really powerful. So it becomes like this whole snowball effect where the AI just becomes so super powerful compared to you that it's really, really hard to keep up. And we're going to have alliances off. This is just going to be a free-for-all battle. Hopefully we win. And let's go ahead and create the game. Don't care about the game name because this is single player. And now let's pick our faction. Okay, so any of you guys unfamiliar with Sword of the Stars, there are 8 different factions you can choose from. Sorry, apparently I can't count. There are 6 different factions you can choose from. You have the humans, which are kind of like the main storyline element of the game, because the storyline of this game takes place where the humans have finally figured out how to build a colony ship and send it out into interstellar space to try to colonize the planet. Well, to their surprise, some of the planets have already been taken, so the enemies shot down their colony ship, and after the humans did some research and quickly threw all their budget into space travel or space weaponry and whatnot, they barely survived the first incursion and found out that this was just a very small fleet. So that's when they decided that we need to go full conquer mode, build as many battlecruisers as you can, colonize all the planets, and wipe out the galaxy. That is pretty much what the storyline to this game is. That's why we're doing custom, because the scenarios are just like situations where you're trying to like solve things. But again, humans are very balanced. They have a good amount of speed, a good amount of defense, and a good amount of attack, and about well-balanced research tree. Because the research tree in this game is randomized, and we'll get more into that when we actually get in the game. Hivers are the bug people. They are very defensive. They're, humans' FTL drive is the node drive, which is, to me, is the fastest and slowest FTL drive in the game. The reason I say that is because if you're able to meet the node connection, you can get there super quickly. But if you can't, you have to drive on sublight. And sublight sucks. Means it'll take a very, very long time to get to the planet. Hivers, on the other hand, their FTL drive are beacons, which means that their ships do not enter FTL, but once they find a planet, they can deploy a gate and then move from planet to planet through gate systems. So it makes them a very defensive system, or defensive player. Then you have the monkey people, who are the Tarkas, who are very aggressive. They can fit a lot of weapons on their ships. Their issues are their FTL system is pretty slow compared to the other systems, and they consume a lot of fuel. So if they want to go a long way, they have to have a lot of tankers inside their fleet to provide fuel for their FTL drives, because it's not very efficient. And then you have the Lear, who are the dolphin people. These guys specialize in movement. They actually don't have a sublight drive. They only have an FTL drive known as the flicker drive, which means when they move their ships, they literally flicker in and out of reality. which makes them allow their ships to have instant acceleration in battle and have a good amount of movement moving around the whole map. Their big weakness is they don't have a lot of weapons and they don't have a whole lot of defense. Their ships die pretty easily. So you have to use your speed to your advantage for this team. And then we have the Zols, who are... I'm not entirely sure how they are battle-wise, but they are the slavers of the universe. They consume planets and then get slaves to do their bidding. They literally, their FTL is ripping a hole in time so they can move from planet to planet. It's kind of similar to the node drive of the humans, but they have to physically rip the hole, and then that hole will patch itself over time. So you have to keep ripping these holes in order to get to planet. But battle-wise, I would probably lean them towards Tarkas, where they focus more on aggressiveness, not necessarily speed or defense. And then you have the Morrigi, which is probably the team I'm going to play. These are the bird people. I don't exactly know what their FTL drive is. I'm thinking it's similar to, I want to say the Lear. I don't know. I don't remember what these are because these were part of the expansion that I didn't play much when I actually played this game. But I like these people because they focus on drones. Their ships can be decked out with a bunch of drones, and they can get a lot of drone research. Oh yeah, speaking of research, I can go through that real quick. Like I said, humans are kind of balanced. Hivers get a lot of defensive research because they're a very defensive team. Tarkas get a lot of powerful energy weapons. Lear get a lot of engine upgrades. Zols, I'm not sure what they get. I never really played the team. And Morrigi are very drone-like. So we're probably going to play as the Morrigi. I want to be the bird people. So let's pick that as our icon. And I'll probably explain a little bit more the differences between these once we actually, start playing the game. And we're going to start with 50,000 treasury, 1 colony, and no technologies. That's what I like. Oh, we need to pick our green color too. And then we're going to have all the computers random. And then we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead, launch, and get into the game. 7 minutes of explaining everything that's going on, and I think I barely scratched it. Cool, so it looks like we're in the middle of the galaxy, a little bit more on the left arm side. It's not too bad. Okay, so this is the Galactic Mode. So this is where we see all of our planets and all of these star systems. Everything that's a star is not explored yet, and once you explore it, it turns into a planet. And the planet will consist of 3 main ingredients. Climate hazard, which you can see on our main planet is 0, indicated by this little icon. The size of the planet. I think the home planets are only ones that are size 10. So you'll only find size 9 or lower, and the amount of resources on the planet. The amount of resources can vary between 2 to 8,000, 5,000 being the middle. So I'm basically just going to take those 3 factors and determine if the planet would be suitable for colonization. Now, I might as well go through the rest of these over here. Imperial Population. This is your planet's health. There's 2 billion Imperial Population on the planet, which means the planet has 2 billion health. When this reaches 0, you lose control of the planet. And the way to get it back is you have to send a colony ship to recolonize the planet. Civilization, or civilian population, is used for extra income, and these are used for extra income, extra defenses, and they're used for if your planet ever goes into revolt, they're the ones that'll go up against the Imperial population to try to take over the planet. If they win, you lose control of the planet and they become rebellions, which actually becomes a faction and you have to fight them off, which is pretty cool. But if you lose, then your civilian population just resets and it just starts regrowing, and then you get your morale back, which your morale is determined here. We're at 75 starting off. Industrial output determines how many points your ships can be built. I can go in here and show you real quick. See, construction costs tells you how much industrial production is required to actually build it. Savings cost tells you how much money for the treasury it takes to actually queue this. And income is just how much income that planet is generating. If you are not building anything on the planet, this income your industrial output will be converted into trade, and it'll help improve your income. So that's a basic rundown. Also, I'm going to make these episodes go about 30 minutes. I think 20 minutes for Sword of the Stars is a little too short. I'm going to go ahead and move this slider over to about here. We'll go to our research tree, because as you can tell, if we keep going around, let's see, these are C3, which is communications, Xenotech, which is translations. We're not going to worry about that in this playthrough. Stealth armor. Ooh, become a stealth armor, indeed. And then industrial, biological, and then, yeah, we automatically start out with combat drones because we specialize in drone technology. Autonomous drone. Okay. But for the time being, let's go ahead and start on gene modification. I'll just say it this way. Gene modification allows you to genetically modify the characteristics of your colonists to improve population growth on alien worlds by 10%. This will also unlock other biological things that you can use, because there's plagues and whatnot that you can shoot at the enemy to try to destroy their planets. But also be warned, if you're trying to make it your planet, some of those weapons might make it to where no one can own it. But let's get this research going.
Men will solve this mystery, my Khan.
My Khan. My Khan comes for thee. And for me, this is how I play. I usually like to keep research at about 2/3 of my income, and then the other 1/3 be reserved in the treasury. And that's so we can build ships and whatnot. So let's go to our second button, which is design. This is where we can actually design our ships. So at the moment, we can have an armor, assault shuttle, which is used for assaulting planets. Don't have to worry about that for a long time. A colonizer, which is used to colonize new planets. A drone ship. The drone ship is used to shoot drones at other ones. They have long-range ships that they can control, the little like fighter-sized long-range ships that they can control, and it will help out a lot. Extended range is pretty much a ship with a larger fuel tank, so it can go on like scouting missions. A grav boat? What the freak is this? I don't know what a grav boat is. That's new. Like I said, I haven't played this team much, so I don't know what a grav boat is. Light defense platform. This is a small little platform that that rotates around your planet and shoots things when we're in combat. And then the tanker is a ship that has a gigantic fuel tank inside it. So you add these into your fleet to increase the range that your fleet can go. Because if they run out of fuel, you're just stuck in space until either you can send another fleet out to get them fueled up, or you just say screw it and scuttle them. Okay. I want to see what our... See, here's our little swarm dude. It comes with our swarm ships. Right now, I want to give them lasers. We can also get better drones once we get more research going. I'm gonna name him Firefly.
It is a most cunning design, Morrigi.
One thing I do also like about this game is you can name everything. Any ship you build or design, you can name. So let's go ahead and go to drone ship. Switch everything over to red lasers, because I like using lasers compared to normal ones. What exactly does the stealth armor do? Hang on. Let's go to research real quick, because I don't know. Let's see. There we are. An armor layer designed not as much for toughness, but as to reduce the energy signature of a vessel. Ships equipped with stealth armor are somewhat more fragile than other ships, but can escape long-range detection much more easily. Ideal for raiding vessels. Oh, so if we want to do a raid on something, we can use that. Cool. Good to know. But I'm not going to. Instead, let's see, it kept everything. Our attack drone fighter fly. Save as drone frigate.
We will remember the plan of this ship, my Khan.
And then for our main ship, let's go with you And we will name you Missile Frigate.
It is a most cunning design, Morrigi.
You know what? Let me redesign you. Yeah, we got Drone Frigate Mark II already. I went ahead and just renamed our fighter as an Interceptor. And I wanted to replace it with this one, but decided that, we don't want to. So, we have Drone Frigate Mark II. But anyways, we don't need you anymore, because you are our Missile Frigate. Tanker, Colonizer, Boater. I don't really use the extended range, so I'm going to get rid of it. Let's go ahead and do that. For our small ships. I kind of wish we could have drones. Maybe the larger ones will be able to put drones on. There we go. Okay. We are 16 minutes. Well, probably 15 minutes because I was quiet for a bit. We're 15 minutes into this and we haven't done a thing. So let's go ahead and build a couple colonizer and tankers.
Our sisters will build fine ships.
Whoop, not the drone. Let's build 3 of them, which will be done in 2 turns. So let's build 4, so it'll be done in 2 turns. Now, how much fuel do you guys have? 7? Yeah, you're a lot better than the Tarkas. Tarkas only have like 4. So you should be able to move to these no problem. Oh, I'm building a tanker with them, so what the heck am I talking about? But yeah, that's the end of turn 1. But to be fair, a lot of this was just explaining for new people who have never played Sword of the Stars. So let's go ahead and end our turn.
System update.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put these guys in their own fleets. You move here. How fast you guys move? Speed of 2.0. You were definitely much faster than the Tarkas. This would take like 5 turns playing the Tarkas. And the reason I keep referencing that because I'm playing that on my offline save. It's one of the reasons I decided to make a YouTube series because like, you know, I'm playing it anyways. So, plus I kind of want something to replace Space Engineers. Space Engineers is a really fun game. I love it. The problem I have with it is it's not really a good game for recording on YouTube. It's great for streaming, especially the format I'm using, but it's not good for just normal YouTube. Let's see, let's get a few more. We don't want to we want to make sure we don't go too far in debt because we do have to pay interest the further in debt we go. Because in this game, there's no such thing as $0. If you want to build more, go ahead and go in debt. You just have to pay the interest for it. And another reason we don't want to go too far in debt because people don't like it when their nation's in debt. So our morale is currently dropping. But we have quite a bit, so we can sacrifice a little bit about it. But let's go ahead and end our turn. There's nothing else really to do.
System update.
Okay, now that these guys are ready, let's go ahead, move you in that direction, move you guys in this direction. Yeah, these guys move fast. I wonder just because they are the bird team. I'm not going to build anything this turn. I'm trying to build up our savings because, again, as long as our savings are in the negative, people don't like it. Now, if you get a good amount of savings in this game, you'll actually start gaining interest from the amount of money that you have. So, like, now we have $1,300 in reserve, and we're getting $13 on interest. It's like 0.1%. It's a really low number, but if you keep a large amount of money in the bank, this will definitely go up and come in handy. Okay. So again, we don't really have a lot of money. I don't want our people to really hate us, so let us go ahead and end our turn.
System update.
There we go. What did we find? We found a size 2 with 4,500 resources and 325 climate hazard. That's not too bad. The size could definitely be better. The resources are about average. It's only going to cost 48,000. We're making 205,000, so that's a little bit over 20%, which is fine by me. Normally, when it comes to planetary upkeep, I try to keep it 50% of my total income. So at the beginning, you have to be really picky. Let's keep it there for now. Let's see what we find at the other planets, because they're all going to be explored next turn anyways. Let's see. Can we build some defense platforms? We can. Cool.
The shipwrights stand ready to build.
Let's see what we find next turn.
System update. The answer is ours, Morukan.
Cool, we got the research done early. Awesome. This one's a lot better. It's a size 4, so it's a little bit bigger than this one. 4,300 resources, slightly less, but still not bad. But a climate hazard of 180 compared to 325. So this will be a lot better. So let's go ahead and colonize this planet.
The women have landed, my god. They'll be a nest.
You go build those nests, you weirdos. And now this one is way too hot. So the way this climate hazard works, the more over to the right is, the hotter it is. The more over to the left it is, the colder it is. And there's a certain range that we have that it has to stay within our comfort zone in order to colonize the planet. Because right now it is just so hot that we can't really do anything about it. It's a decent size though. It's a size 6, but 4,900 resources just doesn't... The climate hazard is just way too high. So, I didn't mean to hit design. I don't know why I did. Let's go ahead and move you to here.
Yours to command, Morukan.
And this one's not really good right now. It's got a lot of resources. 5,700, but 444 climate hazard, and a size 1. Not useful this early in the game, so let's go find another one.
We rise as one, Morukan.
This one's like borderline. It doesn't cost a whole lot, but the size 2 is what worries me. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a different one. We'll keep it in mind though.
Darkness, Khan.
Okay, but we did get our research done, which is nice. Now we've unlocked suspended animation, which allows you to place colonists in suspended animation to transport to their new world and increase your base population. So basically, this will allow your colonizer to deploy more people onto the planet, which isn't a bad idea. That would definitely help with some of the planets that are super polluted, because then you'll have more people working to try to clean up the planet so that the planet is a little bit better. And then we also have atmospheric adaption, which will take 21 turns. This allows you to genetically modify the respiration systems of your colonists to improve population growth and optimize terraforming on alien worlds. The result is a 75-point increase in environmental hazard tolerance. So that means you can have, you can colonize planets that are hotter or colder than the normal zone, and a 6% overall increase in population growth. The resulting greater understanding of atmospheric components also results in a 25% increase in terraforming efficiency. This is a very important research, especially in the very beginning, because it'll help you colonize. This is actually more for later, because the more polluted the planet is, the more it's going to cost to keep it maintained, while the people try to get the planet to, where they like it, because it's a terraforming system that goes on. So, yeah, let's go ahead and research this.
No secret can be hidden from my sisters, Morukan.
And we also discovered the ability to make a plague, a bioweapon designed to kill any carbon-based species, delivered to enemy planets via large biomissiles. Each impact should affect 20% on planetary population unless the enemy possesses the vaccine. So that means if the enemy has like 5 of the different, or gets like 5 of these missiles through, your planet's dead. And all this does is it kills the population. So the effects that happen during battle, because depending on what type of weapons you use against the planet, you can affect the infrastructure, the health, and the climate. And if you use weapons that are really detrimental to the climate, you could actually do so much damage to where even though you killed the enemy, you can't colonize it because you did too much environmental damage. So I mean, there's a strategy to doing that, because later on in the future we can learn to mine planets and then use the resources from like this planet here, which has 1027 climate hazard. I highly doubt we're ever going to have a tolerance that high. We can just mine the resources from that and then take it to our main planet, so our main planet has better production. There's ways around. That's one thing I like about this game. There's a lot of different ways you can actually play. And one of the cool things I do like about the resources is if we have a combat battle above one of our planets, if we destroy the ships or if we lose ships, it increases the amount of resources on our planets. Because we can also over-harvest a planet, which I highly doubt or highly suggest against. Like if I do a full over-harvest, it'll give us like 1,000 more resources and like 5,000 more money. It's totally not worth it. It's definitely worth just keeping the resources, the permanent resources, and building them up from battles. Because if you lose a planet, you can always come back and fight it again, and then you get more resources from that next round of fighting. So yeah, there's a lot of cool loopholes and whatnot in this game that I like a lot.
System update.
There we go. We now have a planet. We have 232 population currently on the planet, infrastructure of 1.29%, climate hazard 179.99, and our terraforming is 0.27. This means that our terraforming is reducing the climate hazard by 0.27 per turn. Doesn't sound like much, but once the population and industrial output get a little bit more established, that'll be a lot better. We're also losing $26,000 per turn due to planetary development. So until this climate hazard gets closer to 0, this is definitely going to be a problem. So, because of that, let's focus a little bit more on terraforming and a little bit less on infrastructure. Because population do also improve the industrial output, not just the infrastructure. So if we focus on population, we'll help get the terraforming done, and it'll eventually cause a chain reaction to where the infrastructure will do good, and everything will be happy. So Tanker, I want you to come back to the main base.
As you say, Khan.
Main base, I want you to build me another colonizer. I guess in the meantime we don't need to do that. We do need to build some sort of ships to protect these planets. I don't remember if I have random, I don't remember if I have random encounters on. I don't think I do, but I don't remember. So let's build a couple drone frigates. Let's build about 4 of them. That's all we can afford at the moment.
The time has come. Increase the flock.
And then once that... actually, they should be able to go on their own. I just need a tanker for the colonizer ship. So next turn we'll probably build another colonizer ship and do a whole bunch of more fun things. The time has come.
System
Increase the flock. Okay. So build me a colonizer ship. Build me a couple missile frigates.
The shipwrights stand ready to build.
And basically what I'm going to do is take all these ships and move them up here so this planet has something to protect itself. Until it gets the industrial and population up and running to where it can build its own stuff. Because I can build on it, it's just going to take a very long time to get done. I'd rather it use that time and resources to help develop itself while I use the other planets to help out. That's kind of why this game's a little bit like Civilization. Because as we colonize more and more planets throughout the galaxy, they can actually help each other and become better in the way of the flock. But anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. This was a pretty good first episode. I know I did a lot of talking. These first few episodes are going to be kind of boring until we find the enemies and really, start getting a fleet going on. And I do also like to build exploration fleets that'll just fly around and start colonizing planets around us. But until we get some planets colonized and get them developed to the point to where they're self-sufficient, it's going to be a little bit boring, so I apologize about that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did. If you like what I do, consider subscribing, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Until then, this is Captain Soban signing out.
Attention fleet.
Makan has found Valcora Gate. The coordinates are 1134489.
We'll send everything we've got, but be advised, we are a mining vessel. It would be best if we did not have to move directly into the main battle.